Gray from Half Lit and DopelivenTV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219 Stand Up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl, Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man, Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Trench in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy, Jason Weaver. And whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl, Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Greg Gray. This is Dope Living TV Live. Let's start off by saying the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Having said that, man, welcome to the show. We have been having a conversation about the state of schooling in the Black community. Today, we want to continue that conversation. We want to talk about the pluses. What do we see good going on? The negatives. What do we see bad going on? And how we can definitely get the parents involved and the community involved. You know, they used to say that it takes a village to raise a child, all right? And that school is part of that village. We need to find out. We need to examine what's going wrong and what are the good things. Let's get started, all right? What's up, Jenny?
Hey, what's happening?
I'm chilling. Everything good?
Yeah, did you do our disclaimer?
The views that are expressed in this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. I did do that. Yes, I did.
Okay, perfect.
What's happening, fam?
What's happening, Momo?
Good.
Yeah.
Coach,
Unmute yourself.
What's happening, Coach?
Unmute yourself.
Got me.
Hey, it happens at least once a week.
Yeah,
at least.
Hey, look, here's Janetta come lately.
That's my mama name.
Janetta?
Oh man.
Well, that's a good thing. I like her mom.
Welcome to the show, man. We've been talking about schooling, education for our future leaders, if that's what they're going to be. All right. So I was talking to somebody today that made a comment.
Who got an airplane?
Marcy.
Marcy on the airplane.
Marcy got the jet.
Oh, first of all, let me start off by saying this. Okay, there's a friend of mine who had a dog. They said that the dog that they had is let me get it. Yeah, it's a dog. It was a Yorkshire Terrier. All right.
Okay.
4 of them for sale. All right. Yes. So I get this inbox. Got 2 left. The rest are already on deposit. Names are Perry and Manny. They're 8 weeks. Are potty trained and kid friendly, and also friendly with other pets. And they these great pictures, right?
Okay. Cute pictures.
Know, right?
Yeah,
my cats are bigger than that dog, but go ahead.
Just remember what their names are. Say that name again.
Oh yeah, that's about the size of Selena right there.
Say the name again, Greg. What kind of dog is that?
York Terrier.
Uh-huh.
A Yorkie.
Yorkie Terrier.
One was named. One was named. Anyway.
Okay.
Here's the thing. So I figure one is a boy and one is a girl. So I figure, okay, I'm gonna help my friend out and get somebody to get a dog, right? So I said,
okay.
They said, well, which one? Hold on. They said, which one do you want, a boy or girl? I said, I got to ask him. So the only thing that they were asking for the dog was the moving fee, the fee to
Rehome fee.
Yeah, there you go, rehome fee. There you
Okay.
go. That's exactly what it said.
And the
And so,
rehome fee is?
well, I got to ask them. They said, which one you want, a boy or girl? I got to ask them. They want to know the fee. They said, okay. They were asking $300 total payment. All right. Here's the fee. And you have to just make the $100 deposit now to secure it, so I can consider it sold. Take the post down ASAP, and you'll come with the remaining $200 cash. You want to come for the pickup. Here go the other kicker. I have Cash App or Zelle or PayPal or Venmo or Chime or Apple Pay. I said, let me find out. I get back. Said okay. So I said, okay, look, check this out, Maurice. I said, well, they said, can they just bring you the $300? Not comfortable with sending any money. They retort, if you make a deposit now, I'll bring it down from the post, mark it sold on your name. Then if you don't want it, then I'll gladly refund your deposit. And then they proceed to send me release form from the American Kennel Club stating that it's authentic, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Keep going.
So
I smell it.
Once the deposit is paid, we'll get the change of ownership done and ready before pickup. How do you want to make the payment so I can consider the puppy yours and take it off my post immediately? I said, can you take a picture with the dog? I know you very well. I just want to make sure this isn't a scam. Their retort, hell no, you know I can never and such. So I said, and then they said, trust me. I said, oh, okay. Well, now that I've kept you talking long enough, just letting you know that we know exactly where you are and the authorities in your area will see you soon. Did I forget to tell you that I'm FBI assigned to catch fraudulent activities? Smile. And I got immediately blocked from the
Oh, I thought it was somebody you knew.
Me too.
That's what it sounded like.
Somebody that I knew, but right after I said all of that, this person is unavailable on Messenger. All right. As soon as I said that, okay, they were hacked. Okay, people, watch out for this. Okay, if you get your education, you're gonna know better instead of just throwing people your money. All right. Anyway,
he said, you get
very
your
true.
education.
Take your buck down to the Humane Society and get one.
I know that's right.
Dude, I was like, wow. And my son was telling me. My son told me to do all. He said, Dad, I have to take a picture of the dog. And I said, okay, take a picture of the dog. He said, hell no. I said, okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just had to throw that out there. People watch people. Scammers are everywhere. Watch these scammers. All right, man, look. So yesterday we were talking about schooling, and, you know, we had Terry Griffin on with us, helping us with the conversation. Appreciate you, Terry. And I hope that we were able to impart just a little bit of something to, you know, just whet the appetite for the conversation that we're having. So today I want to talk about some of the positives and the negatives, okay? If there are any positives or any negatives. We talked about the younger kids going in school with the older kids, and how if that's, some people say it's okay, some people say it's not okay. But what would be a positive that you guys see? Now, all of us are basically kind of detached, except for maybe Marcy, from the schooling system. All right. But is there a positive that we can really see that's going on in the schooling system right now, in the education system right now? Is there a positive that you guys might know of?
That's
hard. That's a real hard question.
See, that's crazy that we got to think about it. You know what I mean?
Okay, wait a minute. What was the question here? Is there a positive for what now?
Anything positive about it in public school right now?
Yeah. Yeah, like
what's up? One positive is for those who are unable to get their kids to homeschool their kids or get them to a charter school. A lot of the public schools, some of the public schools are still in the neighborhood. So that's a positive.
Okay.
That's a positive on the outside, though. I'm talking about the infrastructure of the schooling, the kids being able to learn, the kids being able to learn not only reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Aren't there more requirements regarding curriculum for public schools than charter schools?
I have not been in school in quite some time, so I don't know how it is.
That was my thing. Then versus now, there's a lot of stuff then that was happening in schools versus now. You know, good things. You know, like having those skills being taught that we had in our school where you could go and have a trade before you leave school. Now
Is
they don't.
that going on now though?
No, I don't think it is. I don't think they have those trades in schools now, do they?
I don't know. And I
Marcy?
would love somebody to come on and tell us about that.
Is Marcy in school?
I'm sorry, Maryville schools. They have a lot of the. I know they have, from what I remember,
Trade
auto
centers.
mechanics. I remember auto mechanics because it's in the back of the school with the garage and things. And actually, Maryville High School is building a career in technology, a whole entire wing. It's like it's a
Wow.
whole new building that they're building back there. They do have culinary arts at Maryville High School, where they actually sell the food and things of that nature. So I know in Maryville, I'm in Maryville right now. So I do know Maryville school system does have a lot of those type of classes. And for what Maryville High School does not have, like for hair, for CNA, they do the kids, and they do have that. Come to think about it, they have all of that at Maryville High School. So the Maryville school system does have a lot of these things, whereas once they graduate, they have their skills and they can go out and start working. Hey, Tree.
Yeah, hey, what's up, Tree?
So Byron said that the trades are still being taught. One thing I'm really concerned with, okay, especially when you go into the high school years, the junior, senior years, we had counselors. We had individual special counselors for our class. We had a junior class counselor. We had the senior class counselor, the sophomore and the freshman counselors as well. Do they do that now? And when I say the counselors, these counselors are the guys that walk you through your grades. They tell you what you can do, you know, if you get your grades up, tell you how they can help you to get to the next level, you know, and suggest with your parents how to get you to the next level. Do they still do that?
I can't say.
Yes.
I don't really know.
Yeah. Maryville, yes. I can't speak for the others. I have a grandson that's a senior, and my granddaughter graduated from Maryville as well. So I know they do have that. My son would have been 39 this year. When he was in Gary's school system, they did have that. Where they, you know, and yeah, some school systems, yes.
So what? Let me ask you, you guys, why do you think the school numbers are going down as far as the attendance?
I think learning just isn't fun for kids anymore. That's what I think it is. I don't think they're being. I think they don't feel like they're being as challenged. You hear a lot of kids say that. Like, well, it's not, school isn't fun, it isn't entertaining. Even the girls, when we mentor them, and I talk to them on the Saturdays, they just say school is boring.
That's right. You do.
And I hear that here too.
Okay, school is boring. School is boring, but you know, just you're at school 8 hours a day, right? I understand that. Okay, it ain't boring. You got to put some type of fire into it, but it isn't the intention to teach them and let them learn as opposed to having fun. You know, I guess that's why they put the gym class in there, or the you know, economics or cooking or whatever. I don't know.
Well, no, you know, man, some of the best teachers I learned from was just some of the ones who were really into it.
Okay,
I guess that's what I mean by fun. You know what I mean? You could tell when a teacher's heart is in it, because they'll teach different. It's not like they just standing in front of the board and they just writing. What they actually doing is they're incorporating you into lessons. They're having you do certain activities to help you learn it better, and it just makes it fun. Yeah,
versus just being a lecture. I've seen on the internet some of the teachers that are really, really making it fun. There was a teacher, I think I sent you guys a video, teaching phonics. And it was like a rap, kind of like, and the kids were like, so A is you know, and they were rapping it, and you know, so the rap, the music, along with learning, You know how we grew up, well, except for Jeff, we grew up on Schoolhouse Rock. And we were picking up things like that. The conjunction, junction, what's your function? And you know, it was a jingle, but we were catching on to it. And we were learning that way. And about I'm just a bill, I'm only a bill, sitting here on Capitol Hill.
She's gonna go through all of Saturday, ain't she, boy?
I love my Schoolhouse Rocks. But
Yeah.
you know, and you're saying there are some teachers now that are doing things like that, like the one teacher that was teaching financial literacy.
Mm-hmm.
And so each Friday, the kids got paid. They got paid for turning in their work, being on time, different things of that nature, and they all got $10. But then she asked them, so now after you got paid, what do you have to do? And they were like, pay bills.
That's right.
So if you had to borrow a pencil, you had to give her $1. If you didn't turn in your work, you had to give, you know, things like this. And it was so cute because one kid actually said, I'm broke. Nah, I'm broke. And the teacher said, I'm broke every day. But it's things like that that's actually teaching the kids and making them, you know, want to come in. Oh, we get paid today.
Marcy, I have to stop you.
Go.
You really getting into it.
Because I'm excited.
Is it really doable in the Black community? Think about our teens.
These are Black teachers. These are Black teachers.
Yeah, what I'm saying in
schools.
our community, even in Gary.
I'm trying to get my grandson to come on.
Can you take that to a Gary school and expect the same results? Seriously.
I think you can. Why can't you? Why can't you?
I just don't feel like our kids are on that type of level. Like they're so much more mature than we were at that age, that coming in there with a jingle, they'd probably be like, this be right here.
I don't think
You know
so.
what I'm saying?
I really don't think so because kids like music. Kids like music.
They like music, okay, but do they like being jingled? I guess I want to say, but you know,
I'm with Glennis over here. Would you show Glennis what she wrote? Because I'm in agreement.
I read her
with Glennis
comment
over there. Why do the teachers have to jump around and like clowns in order to get kids to learn?
Okay,
why do they have to do all that?
You read her comment, y'all. I think children are constantly being entertained. The teacher cannot be musical and comical.
I just feel like
our children are constantly on devices. They're not even being raised to do simple things like speaking when you enter the room, speaking when an adult asks you a question. You know, what else we got here? Teachers, Natalie, what's going on? Teachers have to be creative because they are competing with the internet. I agree with that. Howard Hammond, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Howard.
Howard got some good stuff going on, y'all. We'll talk about that later.
He still ain't made my cookie. I told him I need to make some.
Hey, man, Howard, we need a batch of those cookies, bro. A whole batch.
I'm finna send my grandson the link. He wants to come on.
Let's go. But you know, I get what you're saying, Marcy. Okay, but you got to understand where you're at, though. Maryville, and we're talking about Indiana, but anybody across the country, you guys can't comment. Maryville is one place, right? And you know, when you cross that line, Maryville people act different. Now, a lot of people from the Gary side, the Glen Park side, go over to Maryville, and I don't want to call it infiltrating, but they come in and they change the dynamics of everything.
Okay.
So what Gina is saying basically is that it might work where you're talking about.
Yeah, well, certain places. That's
yeah,
anything.
in certain places. So how do we go to the other places where they're harder? For instance, say, let's use the school I graduated from, Westside. How do we go there? Because now, number one, they're changing everything from high schools to academies and this and that and this and that.
Leadership academies.
Bottom line is they're still high school or elementary school.
See, right?
How do you go there? That's way on the other side. That's on the other side of the atmosphere. How do you go there and do the same thing or make it?
Meet the kids where they are. So of course, different communities have different things. So what over here, and it's not over here. We still right here together, Maryville, Gary, same thing. Well, not the same thing, but you know what I'm saying. But so where? Okay, I'm a fuss with anybody. But I lost my dog on that. But meet the kids where they are. What are they into? You know, so if these kids are really into music or what type of music or whatever, you can put down a beat that they will like.
It's kind of like when you had that
it doesn't
coach.
necessarily have to be music. Pardon me?
It's kind of like when you had that coach in high school. We all know our favorite coach, a gym teacher, or something like that. It's because it was how they did. It was how they instilled the lesson in us. You know what I mean? While we were actually going through the game, or while we were actually learning sportsmanship and stuff like that. The reason why we remember that type of stuff is because those teachers made an impact.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I kind of I look at it as it's kind of like one of those things where I just feel some teachers have to give more effort. I'm not putting it all on the teachers, people. That's not what I mean when I say that. I'm just saying, like,
Let's just keep it apart, man.
If you incorporate that part in with what Marcy said, like meeting the teacher where they at, you know what I mean? You necessarily don't have to dress up like a clown or do something entertaining. You just have to learn how to speak their language. You know, if you learn how to speak a kid's language, even I dealt with a child. This was my ex-girlfriend's kid. And I dealt with him. He had so much anger and rage in him, yo. But you know, just because I was able to just talk to him and try to sympathize with him on a certain level. I didn't do no tricks. I didn't do no magic. I didn't do no, all I did was just talk to the child.
Right.
And when I instilled some wisdom in him, he looked at me as somebody who he could trust, who he could respect. So I just feel kids need more people who can speak their language and people they can trust and respect. And then they're more apt to get those and receive those messages across than somebody just coming in saying, hey, I'm just here today to teach a lesson.
You know what that just reminded me of when we talk about our relationships, talk about like a romantic relationship, because relationships, you know, you have different types of relationship. When you said they're like in relationships, we talk about the love language. But what you just said, when you speak their language, because when you're in a romantic relationship, you can't treat everyone the same. Because they have the different, like you just said, languages or whatever. That right there was key. Speaking their language and the teacher knowing her class and knowing her students, because everyone does not learn the same way. Some are visual. Some are okay with lectures, with just doing a lecture, you know, but then some are hands-on. So you have to, and again, it's not being a clown at all. What these teachers did with the financial literacy and the phonics and things of that nature, that was not really comical or being a clown. It was, she knew her student, they knew their students, and this was something that they thrived on. And these were African-American teachers and African-American students. So it's like, I love how you said with that language. That is so on point.
And Jeff, to your point too, okay? Now, I know you've spoke in front of people. Marcy, you spoke. I know Mo spoke. And I spoke. I was in Colorado, and I spoke at a school. It was a high school. And to your point about speaking their language. Now, when he says speaking the language, he's not talking about cussing, fussing. That's not what we're trying to tell them, all right? But we're trying to communicate with them on the level that they understand. So they're not going to understand, you know, ABC 1, 2, 3. They're not going to listen. They're not going to sit and listen to that. All right?
Exactly.
But if you talk to them and give them some examples of things while you're trying to teach them and let them know, hey, I understand where you're at. I've been there. I understand you. And let them kind of dictate sometimes the conversation. It's my opinion, though, and only my opinion. Let them dictate the conversation sometimes so that you can know how to retort.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Jeremiah says these teachers don't have enough funding to even find good ways to teach these kids. We also have a shortage of teachers due to low pay and horrible, toxic work environment. Absolutely, brother. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I agree, brother.
That we really want to touch on.
A lot of babysitters now.
That's my grandson.
Who was that? Was that Terry yesterday who made the comment? Teachers are not just teaching. They're the counselor. They're the social worker. They're the mama. They're the daddy. And then they're the referee and security. And, you know, it really takes a lot. I did a presentation with 200 kids in Maryville last week, and they were a little bit different. I'm doing 200 tomorrow in Gary at Thea Bowman. But when I come in to introduce myself, you know, I kind of, first of all, I watch how they are when the teachers are bringing them in. And I kind of see, you know, gauge that, and then I change up my presentations according to what I'm saying, how I'm saying, the kids and the teachers are interacting, and that goes back to what is their language. And of course, every child is not going to be the same, especially when you have 200 and you have all these different classes in
And
there.
you have a different, we're in a different societal atmosphere as well. Okay, so whereas and Jeff, I'm referring to you as well. Whereas I used to go, and you're a different type of businessman, but I used to go at the schools in my suit and tie with Brooks Brothers and all of that, man. And I'm looking at them as they're talking with the other people that are at on the dais, and they're so disinterested because first off, they're looking at this suit and this and that, man. I'm not wearing a suit. I don't want to wear no suit. Okay. I stopped after that first time. I'll wear gym shoes and I just wear what I wear for my.
You're more down to earth to them.
Yeah. When they see that, as opposed to see a suit and all of that stuff, it's a whole different dynamic. All right. Let me read what Glennis says real quick. I love this comment. Okay. Glennis says children must first understand that school is first of all your job. Just like mommy and daddy have a job, come from home with the mindset, this is not a game, it's work. It can be enjoyable, certainly, but school has a purpose. I love reading. So English and history were my best subjects. I adored music, so it became my passion. My teachers were mostly excellent and did the job, but my parents expected me to do my job as well.
Right there.
Yeah, facts.
I tell people that all the time. This is your job.
Yeah.
Being a student and graduating.
And so therein right there, to me, lies one of the bigger problems. The kids are going basically away from home and be with some hang out with them. That's what they're going for, as opposed to what Glenn said, understanding that, hey, you're there for a purpose. That's why we're getting all these F's and D's and this and that, because they're not paying attention in class. They're waiting to see if Ray came to school today, and if Ray did come to school today, how many girls are we gonna mac on? How many? I'm using those. But that's what they waiting on. Lunchtime.
Flaming
hot with cheese.
You know what I'm saying? Flaming hot.
That's not good for them at all.
Meat pizza. Do they still do meat pizza?
Well, like a pizza puff deal?
No. See, Jeff, you wasn't there.
What is the meat pizza?
No, we didn't have pizza puffs. We had pizza.
It was a slab of pizza, man. It was a slab of pizza.
It was good too. It was
really
good.
Man, you had people trading their souls.
What about them butter cookies and peanut butter cookies?
Come on, man.
Yeah, people trading their souls.
I feel so robbed of this food moment.
We're talking about the positives. That was the positive. Lunchtime, especially on Fridays when they had that meat pizza. We called it meat pizza, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
meat pizza.
I'm gonna see if I can pull up I may not be able to do it today, but pull up a picture. Jeff, you missed that. It was a whole slab. It was a whole slab.
That's when they actually cooked back then.
Yeah,
they actually cooked. I worked in food service a few years back at a high school.
No, a lot of that food process.
Everything is frozen. Pretty much you're warming it up.
Yeah, it's bad.
Pretty much you're warming it up.
So when the Thanksgiving meal came around, the elementary school used to dim the lights and everything. That turkey be dry processed turkey.
Oh, no,
that ham would be fake ham.
They cooked back in the man.
Yeah, they sure did. We had gravy and everything with ours.
Man, we didn't get it like that, yo. We didn't get it like that.
Hey, look, Bree says it kind of depends on who is wanting to help a child. From my experience, I have a special needs one, and I'm very hands-on. They all know me, so we work together.
Yeah,
and I appreciate that. Jeremiah says, as a teenager, now many kids are just drained. School is not enjoyable, and you can't just blame the teachers.
Not at all.
They aren't paid enough, and people aren't grateful for what they provide. So if the teachers don't come to work happy or motivated, they won't provide an interactive and fun experience for the students to learn. Also, with the funding issue, they don't have enough supplies to make anything enjoyable. I don't even remember the last time we had a field trip that wasn't college related. There was more to it. Yes.
He's writing a book.
But I'm like, and Jeremiah must be a student. All right, and I appreciate you.
Oh, is he a teacher?
That's my grandson.
How old is Jeremiah?
Oh, okay.
17. That's the one that's the
National
I have a question. Society.
I've got a question. I want to know why do teenagers feel as if they are drained? I really want Jeremiah to answer that question.
Don't that make you mad when they say that?
Because you know what,
no,
man?
because there's a reason.
Well, yeah, because I thought about it, and as I'm thinking about it, you know, my drained as a 15, 16, 17-year-old is totally different from me being drained now as an adult. And I guess maybe because I'm not 17 no more, now I need the 17-year-old to tell me why he feels drained.
That's crazy, though. Hey, man, look, I know exactly what you're saying, man. Look, Howard says, I don't have the answer, but could the method of teaching be outdated? You see how things have changed? Maybe the method of teaching should be changed too. Yes.
I like that.
I love that, man. You can't do the same things we did before. So thus we have to adjust. And that takes the parents too. Now we got Generation Z parents, right? Or X or whatever they call them.
Look, I don't know where they are now.
But the parentage that we had back in the day is completely different. You go to school, you learn. You don't learn, you get your ass beat when you get to the crib, right?
And if the teacher called your house, you're getting your butt whooped.
All of that.
It was not, if the teacher got you, your neighbor got you, if the neighbor found out about it, your mama got you, your grandmama, your granddad. I didn't have to go through that because I was scared. I was just scared. They can just look at me and I'm like, I'm scared. But you know, that back then, and the teachers, I won't say they don't care now. I remember going to school with a wrinkled shirt and 2 teachers doubled up on me before I even got in class. They pulled me from behind and just for a wrinkled shirt. But it was more like they were your mama and your daddies there then. And I see a lot of teachers now, they're sounding like some of the kids with their language and how they're talking to the kids. And
you got to remember that the teachers then cared about your destiny. I mean, they helped you with it. That's a big difference. And I don't think, I mean, it's not that I don't think they don't care about their destiny now. It's just the other stuff they have to go through. You know, it's a lot of stuff that the teachers have to go through. Them teachers back in the day didn't. For one, those teachers usually knew how to discipline because they had kids. Okay.
And they could discipline.
And they could discipline without no problems.
Trust me, discipline with that paddle with the holes in it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that sucked your meat. That sucked your meat through that.
Yeah,
booty hurting right now.
Oh no.
but there was a consequence for your actions. And all of us knew that. So now, you know, with this generation we have coming through school, like my grandson said, he's not challenged at all. So anybody that's in the school with him, you know, that don't care, those are the squeaky wheels. So they get the grease. So guess what? That's part of the culture in the school that's probably bringing the whole school down.
Hey, look, Jeremiah has a little bit more to say. He says hormone changes and just growing up. Also with drainage, many parents don't understand their kids or just apply way too much pressure. It's always school first, and nobody asks how the students feel. Also, a lot of these kids don't have parents that care about them. I know a lot of people that do drugs and other stuff just to get a kick out of it and feel something, sort of like drinking an energy drink. He says there's way more things he could touch on. Just ask up if you want to, okay? Natalie says the teachers there are too personal with the kids. Being friends with them on social media is part of that problem. Should a teacher be friends with a child?
We talked about that. We talked about that the other day.
I don't think I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think you should be on the same level with the child.
No, you can't be on the same level.
You remove
Marcy
those
said
boundaries.
it yesterday. Marcy said it yesterday. These teachers want to be friends, you know, with the kids. I mean,
I don't have a problem with them monitoring them, you know.
They're at school, you know.
Well, even on social media, look on their social media pages. Don't respond to anything on there, though. Then go to school and say, well, hey, I saw this, okay? You shouldn't be doing this or whatever, or some creative way to tell them, okay? I do think they should be monitored. You know what I'm saying? Jeremiah says, to have a close relationship with your students, they need a trusting adult in their life. If they feel comfortable with telling things, then there shouldn't be an issue.
Right.
Yeah.
Glennis says youth of the day are faced with too much. You can't just be even a boy or a girl. Bathroom population is different. Maybe I don't have a laptop. Maybe my family doesn't have Wi-Fi, but the child needs it. We could always borrow a book or go to the library. Back in the day, we could. Leaving home with no family structure, no breakfast, no one really cares. When you come home, if you come home, no family time, no bedtime.
I talked about that yesterday.
So yeah, we're putting the ball
And
back
this-
to the parents.
And this leads with that comment. This leads to my next segue. I feel that we took a turn from kids from just going to school, learning, to now pressure and mental health with the students.
Come on.
Come on.
Have y'all noticed that, yo? We
Yes.
went from like, and the pressure still might have been there back in the day, but I think now, just because we have a generation of kids that are talking more, they're speaking, social media out there, they record everything. These kids are sharing how they feel, yo.
Plus, they have people telling them that they got a mental problem because they're going through a change of the.
And that's true too.
You know,
that's true
they
too.
got people saying, "Hey, you sick because this is happening or that is happening to your body," and and you're not. You know,
okay.
Think about that for a minute.
Do you think? Okay, we talk about mental health. Do you think some of this has to do with foods that we're eating and the foods they're eating? Because you guys brought up hot chips and things. Do you? Yeah, think about it. The food you eat
or not eating.
Yeah. Because you're not getting the nutrients that you really need, and that can mess with your mental health.
Okay.
And it's very true. You're not getting, because you're eating these hot chips, you're eating this processed food, you're eating all of this, hot that. Hot chips, I questioned that at Maryville High School. I worked in the food service department. I questioned that. They didn't care for me. I don't care. But I questioned that because I had my my grandkids there, and most of the kids there, they adopted me. Okay. I was grandma Bay to half the students there. But I questioned hot chips. Look up the history of that. Look that up. Well, it's whole grain. It's hot chips.
I'm gonna look up hot chips with cheese.
You know, but when you shut up. But when you start looking at some of these foods, the processed foods and things, that's not good. That's not good.
When you look at the ingredients on the back, when you look on the ingredients on the
vitamins that you need, that's not. I made some suggestions. A lot of kids said y'all need to put Grandma Bay in the kitchen. I'm like, they ain't gonna do that. I asked that too. But I know, and they talk about it's the budget. So
Damn
for each child, we gotta have this or that. But that's got a lot to do with it.
Hey, look, real quick. Glennis said, I love Miss Bessie Tatum. Who didn't know Bessie Tatum? I respected her immensely, but she was not my friend.
Oh, she wouldn't know. She wasn't like that.
Jeremiah says, this is real. A lot of these kids don't have a caring enough family. Lack of father figures are a big issue. Guys, y'all need to write some of these down because when Thursday comes, man, we're going to have a lot to talk about.
And Gary had a dad's program.
I want to put this back up. Definitely the foods and shit they put in our water definitely messes with us. Come on, Jeremiah.
I don't trust nobody.
I love Jeremiah. Go ahead, baby. But you know what? Gary actually had a program it was called Dads, I believe, where a lot of the fathers, whether they were fathers or grandfathers or had kids in the school system, they got together. They had meetings. And they came and they walked through these schools. If you start looking back at some of these surveys and this research that they've done, when these fathers get through here and start just walking through the schools, start going to some of these events and things, these kids change. They really thrive when they just see the men walking through the hallway. They change because was that Jeff or Jeremiah or someone made the comment about they're not father figures out here. Even if this child is not yours, I still loved on other kids. When my son was in school, I had a whole lot of kids. I only had the one child. I had a lot of kids back then. When I saw it seemed like somebody was down, love on these kids in the right way.
Well, and they do need that. They do absolutely need that. And just for this guy, Shahid, that's not the way you get our attention, bro. Not when we're doing this. All right. So definitely will not be using your services. All right. Thank you, sir. Dan Sisman says chemicals in food react with other chemicals and other foods. Bree says, wow, definitely get that. I have a child that was left behind. I care for. He eats home cooked food.
Come on.
Do his homework together. Do everything together. Jeremiah, you see what these middle schoolers look like now? Even in middle school, I was taller than my dad, and it's definitely some of these hormones in the food. These kids grow up early and are fed these growth hormones. In Europe, they have all food standards and banned a lot of stuff we have in our food. Compared to the ingredients of ketchup in Europe versus in America, it's disgusting.
Cereal.
And he says
there's a lot of sugar.
He says a lot of the younger teachers are loved in my school because they talk to you and understand you. Dan says the government is letting this happen with our foods. Think hard about it. Back in the day, moms canned a lot.
Boom.
Their own gardens.
And you know, they have some schools, not here, that I know about here in Northwest Indiana, but they do have some schools that now are doing community gardens.
Really?
So it's in the actual school. They're teaching them how to garden, you know, what to do to get the soil right, how to grow your own foods, and how to eat raw foods from the earth.
But
that's not messed up with the pesticides and, you know, all the environment crap.
You remember, Marcy, when we were younger, we didn't have to worry about how bad our food was. I mean, even if it was junk food, it wasn't as bad as this stuff now.
Yeah, they're putting giving
I mean, that's
antibiotics.
like Indiana in general. I mean, it's a farms everywhere. You know, they used to source locally. So, I mean, most of the food was pretty good. I don't know about now.
Dan, where are you? Where's Dan located, Greg?
Ask him.
Dan, where are you located? Because he said his schools and churches are doing the community gardens. I know a lot of places. We had a guy on. I can't think of his name. He was on in New York or something, I think he was, where he has the community garden and he actually has the teens coming in. He pays them for the work that they do. If they're 1 minute late, they don't get paid for that day. They get sent back home. And then he gives a lot of the food back to the pantries, and people can come in for economically and buy fruits and veggies from what they're actually growing. And I know a lot of places throughout the country are doing that. Hey, you guys want to take a quick pause to redirect, regroup, refocus?
Let me get Jeremiah's comment real quick, okay? Dan says he lives in Wheatfield.
Okay.
Jeremiah says it's crazy now that you need a permit to run a garden. The government wants to control what you can and can't do with your body. They want you under their control, eating their foods and taking their medicines. You don't need pesticides to run a garden. Dogs and other animals help the garden to thrive. Bree says, I know about that, Marcy. I wish Glen Park Academy was doing that because I grew a garden with my little one. And I can appreciate Jeremiah. Thank you for coming on, because now we get a perspective from us, not the older people. We're getting a perspective from actual student. Okay, Marcy, go ahead.
Okay, and I don't know. I haven't seen. Is Tanisha on today? No. But Bree, talk to the school. These are something with parent-teacher PTAs and stuff like that. If parents start talking, maybe we can get those into the school. But you know what? I think we're going to redirect, regroup, and refocus at this point with life coach Jeff Rose.
Hey, what's up? And for today's 1 minute thought, y'all, I really want to talk just real quick about that mental health part for our children. So the thing is this, people, take time to ask your children questions. Know where they are. Know the different things that they're into and what they're doing. Just pick your child's brain. And if you have to kind of dig a little bit deeper with your child or just a child in general, because you just don't know what they're going through. I feel that children are going through a lot, and they do have a lot of things going on. You know, I asked that question for the sake of the show, but reality is that children do have a lot going on. School work, some of them have jobs, and they also working and doing other stuff like that, even in sports after school. Just to juggle all that at a young age and still try to maintain a high average is a lot. So talk to your kids.
Hey, that's Life Coach Jeff. He got a podcast. He do his own thing too. So y'all check him out. All right, make sure y'all support. You know, I wanted to comment on that too, Mel. You made a statement about the kids and what do they go through, or how do they get stressed or something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
But kids, understand this. Okay. You're in the best moments of your life right now because you got somebody that really is taking care of you.
Very true.
All of the things that we as adults have to do, pay bills and get up and go to work and try to make sure that you are good. Those are things that should stress us out. You don't have a stress. Now, if you're getting, you got your parents who don't take care of you, who don't look out for your well-being, who don't talk to you, don't interact with you, and this and that, and you're by yourself, and you're at the mercy of Grand Theft Auto and whatever. I can understand you having issues and pressures and this and that, but right now you should be living the best life right now because you got somebody that does all of this stuff for you. Dan Sisler real quick says, doesn't stop there. They want to control stoves, furnaces, air conditioners, and dishwashers. Think about what our government is doing to us and what they okay to put in our foods. Yeah, okay to put in our food. Jeremiah says many parents do need to talk to their kids. I wish my parents would check up on me. It's always about school, never about how I feel or just anything minor. They say high school is supposed to be the time of my life, but why isn't it enjoyable? Why do I wake up and find myself dreading the day? And
I'm gonna say this. I really
that he said that though.
I really believe that just speaks to the point of it's kind of like when you get up, and I'm gonna tell you this, little man. It's kind of like when I get up, you go to work and you go to a job every day that you don't want to work. Adults feel that same way. Like you feel about school, how you dreading going to school. It's so many adults that are dreading to go to work because they are not doing what they want to do. A lot of people, and it boils down to it, I believe, is just, my man, you're not happy with the environment, how it looks, and what you're doing within that environment. It's the same for adults too. You know what I mean? So I hope that kind of puts a little perspective on what it is that you kind of going through, because adults feel the same way when we have to work a job that we don't want to work, but we have to work because we need it to survive.
I think Jeremiah and Maurice, I don't know him, but Jeremiah needs some help. He needs help.
I mean, we keep him maybe twice a month here.
And he's how old?
Huh?
He's how old?
17.
And the reason why he is the way he is because this fellow, when he started talking, he didn't stop when he was little, and he'd ask, and it was just like his dad. He answered 100,000 questions. We had to answer 100,000 questions.
He got a lot on his mind. Okay,
he does have a lot on his mind, and I'll get a chance to talk to him when he comes over probably this weekend.
Glennis says, I'd like to hear our children define the word family. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Then I'd like for the parents to define family, what it is, what it should be, and what do you want it to be. I would love for that to be homework for tonight, for tomorrow's show.
Look, I'm writing that down already. That's good.
Get a kid. Let's find a child to come on here and have him define the word family. Then we'll ask a parent to come on here and for them to define the word family. I think that would be great. Jeremiah says family doesn't always mean blood related, but should be someone or some people you trust and love. Absolutely. Correct. Man, that's a brilliant young man. That's a brilliant.
Ooh, yeah, he is. I would love to meet him.
And life coach Jeff reached the kids. Oh, I'm sorry. I ain't supposed to read that one.
You ain't supposed to read that one.
That's Greg.
I was, because as you were saying all this, I was really thinking about what if we could find a couple of kids and I could talk to them.
Definitely. Hey, man, talk to some of the girls in your group. See if they can come on.
Okay, definitely.
That's possible. I'm gonna reach out to a couple. I'm gonna reach out to a couple of educators that don't live in this area.
Yeah.
That lives on the East Coast, I think, or the West Coast, or something like that, and see if I can get them to come on as well. Okay. I think now that we got this open, okay, because the conversation is getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
We need to continue this conversation and get varying views about it. Okay. Bree is saying, I'm trying to get a great person to work with my little person, mentor him.
But you know what I want to say about what Jeremiah is commenting on? He is asking for help.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't even recognize that, or we push them away. Hey, go do your homework. Oh, you a kid. You haven't experienced life yet. But yet they're going through some things and we can't even identify with it. which is why a lot of times they turn to the streets, or they turn to the
Exactly.
negativity, or they turn
Yeah.
to the things
Yeah.
that we don't
Mm-hmm.
want them to turn to, because we're not recognizing that they
Mm-hmm.
are asking for help.
Mm-hmm.
And if
Mm-hmm.
they never get that help, what happens? It's just like a
Hmm.
scab. It just keeps getting worse. It never heals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
that's when they go to the streets. And then of course they're gonna bring them in because they want them in that lifestyle. And so that's why you hear so many times the kids that are in the streets say, now this is my family. Yeah, they pull you in,
Mm-hmm.
and then you realize, ooh, wait, someone realized, oh, this ain't, what I
Yeah.
thought it would be. But by that time, some of them can't get back out.
Mm-hmm.
But they're looking for love in all the wrong places.
Looking for nub in the
But
wrong places.
True.
we need to find some of those teens who are doing some positive things that came from those bad environments. How
Mm-hmm.
did
Yeah.
they turn that around? How did they
Mm-hmm.
get out of it? It's hard to do that. And so,
Oh, it's very hard.
especially for a child, is they
Mm-hmm.
don't have a voice.
Bree
So
says
we
he
need
can't.
to find a few of those teens or young adults that were in those situations that turned it around and it came out positive, because it can become positive.
Yeah.
We just hear all the bad ones all the time. We don't
Mm-hmm.
look for the positive ones.
Mm,
And there
true.
are, and just with Jeremiah, go ahead, Jeff. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just agreeing with Gina. That's all.
But there are some like
Okay.
Jeremiah wants to soar. He wants to. Bree says he can't ask, but he needs help. I can't provide.
How old is he, Bree?
He,
Is that
he wants to. Jeremiah wants to. He wants to soar. He wants to go out there, but he's blocked. And like Gina said, he's asking for help so he can get all of this mess off of him, so he can go that different direction. Yesterday, I had an argument with my mom about this exact subject. She told me to do my homework, and I did it. She still got mad that my phone was next to me, and she ended up yelling at me in front of my younger siblings, setting a bad example. Not trying to be rude, but some parents are also younger and need to mature, same with their kids. I don't blame my mom. She was young when she had me, but at some point, you must grow. Glennis
I
says
understand exactly what he's saying.
Glennis says the things that are important to children, just as paying NIPSCO is important to us as adults. It's the point where they are in their lives. No adults, not adult situations, but they're not adults. Their problems are just as important. They are. They're not as well. Yeah, they are life changing too. So
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of variables, and when we thought about talking about this, I don't think none of us really expected some of these things that are coming out. There's a lot of variables to how we can do this to help our kids, but there is not just one answer. You know what I mean?
Nope.
It's not going to, you're not going to fix it with just one solution. Okay. Tell them to go do their homework. Go sit in the corner. You're nothing. You'll never be anything. Okay. If you don't do this, or if you don't do that. All right.
Exactly. It's
And,
continuous. It's
I want to
continuous.
talk. It is continuous. It has to be a continuous conversation. I want to talk about tomorrow. We talked about going to the next level, but I really want to talk about is it the right thing for some? Do we push our kids to go to college and they really aren't college material?
That's a good
I want to
question.
talk
I
about
like that.
tomorrow. Also, are there alternatives? Because if these kids can't make it in elementary school or junior high school or high school, if they can't really make it or not there, they mentally, is there an alternative way to teach the kids? Do they have to learn exactly what's in the school? Is there something else that they can do to still teach them? And what are the standards for a child to go to the next level? Are they still the same as they were when we were in school? I want to talk about all of that tomorrow.
That's a good
man.
question.
I always explain to our kids, when you start having children, first of all, have fun before you start having kids and going to work and all that stuff. Be a kid, be a teenager, have good times, you're having those. But what you got to remember is that when it's time to grow up, it's time to grow up and face your responsibilities. You got to do it. It just there's no ways around it. And a lot of stuff with parenting right now is just God. It's real. Like Jet was just saying. He has problems, and we've talked about it. Before. you know, but we haven't talked about it in depth. Actually, this is as deep as he's got tonight, you know.
Now you know, Maurice.
Now I know. I told him to come on.
Hey, Jeremiah says these last couple of comments here. I can attest to these things, to these kids turning to the streets. It's really the culture. I grew up poor when I was with my mom, and my step dad brought us out of the poverty. But if you're given an example of some good opportunities, you should be trying hard to get in. You should be trying hard to get in the streets. Many of the people that grew up with me ended up killed or in jail. All the people I hang out with have met my family, are good kids that all have 3.5 GPAs and bright futures. It's about who you surround yourself with.
Facts, young man.
Bree says he's young, talking about her, the one she takes care of, but very intelligent. I'm not a man. There are things I can't teach him, but there are things that you can teach him as well, though. Glennis says, this is a final comment from our audience. You can't just cool with them during the baby and toddler stage. Then begin to distance ourselves once they get to a certain age. True. Newness should not wear off when it's your child. Grow the hell up. If you don't want children, don't have them. I'm sick of some of these parents. Damn. Yep. Jeremiah, man, look. Jeremiah, we want you back tomorrow. We want to get all of your comments in here, and hopefully by the end of the week we can try to help you. Okay, Marcy, we can get out of here. Talk to them.
Parents, talk to your kids, not at them. Love on them. Love on them. You had them. If you don't like what's happening at the schools, get up there, talk to other parents, try to get up there. If it's something dealing with funding, talk to the big corporations in your area to see if they'll sponsor some of these things for the students. But parents, get involved. If it's not your child and you see another child that's being left behind, adopt them. And when I say adopt them, I don't mean legally adopt them, but show some love like you're doing your own kids. Everyone doesn't have parents that really care.
Absolutely. Life goes.
It's what is it? 7:57. Where's your child at?
It is.
That's Do you know where your child is?
Right.
Are they nestled safely under the covers in the bed? Are they sitting right beside you? Will you be reading them a bedtime story tonight? Will you give them a hug or a kiss? As Marcy said, show love to your kids, talk to your kids, ask questions, get all up in their business, but still be a parent and show them some love.
Just like my two other panelists, communication is the key. Very much so. I mean, and and part of that is with love. Gina.
Yeah, if you want well-rounded kids, you have to be a well-rounded adult.
That's right.
You know, if they show some interest in something, help them in that area. My granddaughter has went from doing nails to hair to makeup to sewing to drawing, and she switched gears. I switched gears right along with her.
Yep.
Let's be there for the children and not push them to the side like they're not people.
That's right.
Hey, they're our future. They're, you know, I know it sounds like a just something to say, but they are our future. And you know, a long time ago, we were someone else's future. So we were taught to be the way that we are now. Even though we have gone through things and did things ourselves, we had it back in the back of our mind. I know I shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna try it anyway, okay? Because I'm grown now, you know. And then we go back to the teachings that we had. You know, we don't stay out there. This generation of kids, they have a lot of variables, man, a lot of things that we didn't have back in the day that's going to distract them. We need to try to keep them on track. All right. Tomorrow on the show, man, we got more of this, and hopefully we get more people to come on and express themselves. And let's try to find some type of a happy medium so that we can help not only the people that are listening, but develop some type of communication for everybody out there. And maybe if we continue to talk about this, not just us, but there's a lot of other podcasts that I've shared this to. You can do a podcast the same way and talk about it. We got to get it out there. Final one from Jeremiah. I don't want to leave the young man out. Social media provides a bad example. You see someone doing something bad and getting away with it. Now these kids want to mimic the behavior. Absolutely. And there's some that are just pretending you know. And then when the situation comes to them, the bad situation, they're afraid. They're kid. Man, look, we got a lot to talk about. Okay, we're gonna come back tomorrow and talk about a little bit more. All right, it's Dope Living TV
Yes.
Live. We will see you guys tomorrow. All right, peace out.
Peace out.